All right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. Beautiful day here in Evanston, and looking forward to obviously a great week of preparation with Veterans Day on Thursday coming up. It was great to have Brian Hines back. Him and his wife Kelly were with us on Friday and Saturday, and to have him be honored at the game was something absolutely spectacular. And just appreciate everybody that made that happen. And so great to see him, and it was great having him around. Obviously, teammates with Coach McGargle and Coach Ianni. It was just great to have him around. Obviously learning the kickoff for this week and next week at 11 o'clock. So early wake ups, and I love it. Have a cup of coffee, eat some breakfast, and let's go play. And a tough place to play this week up in Camp Randall. A great fan base, great Cathedral College football, and then the way that the Badgers are playing right now is going to be a huge challenge. I think they're playing as well as they've played all year. Number one defense in the country. They're physical, they're violent, they're well coordinated. Coach Leonard does a great job. And then to see the way they're pounding the ball and creating great compliments off of it with the job that Paul and Coach Rudolph do, they're really talented in the kick game. Huge challenge, there's no doubt. But I think one that our guys will be up for. Looking back, our players of the game for the Iowa game, Malik Washington was our offensive player of the game, played outstanding. Big playmaker was Evan Hall. I think he's having, an all Big Ten type year, maybe not first team, but because I know, when you're not winning championships, it's tough to be that, but I think he's playing consistent, hard-nosed, tough football. Bryce Gallagher on defense and was our player of the week, and Rod Hurd was our big playmaker. And then special teams was Ray Nairo. I think Ray had 4 or 5 tackles, big block punt. I don't know if we give out all Big Ten for special teams, but I there's no doubt in my mind he'd be first team all Big Ten. Our practice players of the week, Mac Uline, Trent Carrington, and Ori Adaye. So we had a great group of guys give great effort. So with that, I'll answer any and all of your questions, please.
Reminder, if you have a question, please message Athletic Communications in the chat. The first question will be Austin Siegel.
Coach, I know you brought up Brian Hines and his impact. What did it mean to have him back, both personally and for your program?
Yeah, Austin, personally, it was just great to see him. I mean, he's an amazing, success story for our program. Young man that walked on, earned a scholarship, became a captain, and then, started off in the financial world and then was moved, by the terrible tragedies and things that happened to our country. And then to, enlist in the special forces in the Army and become a Green Beret. That takes incredible mental toughness, physical toughness, family support, and then just a warrior spirit that Brian demonstrated while he was here, but was really calm and cool and collected. And then to see him back, I mean, it was really emotional. I think I said that after the game. He's a guy that, you knew what he was doing. You just didn't know where he was and what he was doing for a lot of his career. And his mom and dad would, ask me from time to time to reach out to him for a little bit of shot of purple juice, a little bit of passion. And we're just so proud of him, and Kelly's a special woman and they've got a beautiful family. And to have him back honored was spectacular, and just so proud of him. So thankful for the freedom that he and his teammates provide us. And, here on Veterans Week, it's something that we take great pride in supporting, and just so proud of Brian and his teammates. And we have other young men that are currently serving. We have other young men that have served, and we have family members that same thing that are serving and have served. And we're incredibly thankful for them.
Andrew Seligman.
Yeah, hey, Pat. Kind of more of a big picture Big Ten question, but what do you make of some of the big numbers that we're seeing from receivers in the conference? You had 3 this past weekend go over 200 yards. Just what do you make of that, and what does that say about where things are in the Big Ten?
Yeah, Andrew, great to see you. There's explosive athletes across this league, and at wide receiver, there's some, I think first round talent that is just really showcasing their skills. And a lot of the plays, again, I haven't studied those specific games or those players, but I know just watching crossover tape and in my preparation, a lot of those plays are being contested by really good DB play. The receivers are just going up and making big time plays. So, I mean, it makes it really challenging defensively. There's no doubt when you've got that type of explosiveness.
Does it cut against that, perception of the Big Ten, the stodgy offenses, the, physical defenses?
I don't know. I mean, what's going to be said is going to be said. I mean, we're getting ready to play Auburn last year and we had no chance because we weren't fast enough. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I think every game's a unique challenge. I think there's great athletes across this game, across the country. And I think depending on where your home base is, based on where you write, is based on how you write your narrative. So I don't really get overly caught up in that.
Thanks.
Yeah, you bet, man. Hope all's well.
Thank you.
Drew Schott.
Hey, Coach, staying on the topic of receivers, can you speak a little bit on Stephon Robinson Jr.? Obviously missed the Minnesota game with injury, came back, provided an offensive spark on Saturday. Can you speak about his performance throughout the year and his experience as a graduate transfer from Kansas and what he's meant to your team and the wide receiver room as a whole?
Yeah, Drew, good morning. I think Steph has been just absolutely outstanding. Again, a guy that I think is playing at all Big Ten level. He's explosive. He runs great routes. He's got a high compete level and a high confidence level. He's been able to make plays in 2 Power 5 leagues and make explosive plays. And it's great to have him back. We're going to need him here for the stretch run. And he's a tough guy, man. To get him back as quickly. I mean, he has been so diligent, working hard to get back on the field. And you saw, Saturday, his big playmaking ability. Just really proud of him. Great to have him a part of the program, and look forward to a great and strong finish by him.
Patrick Andres.
Hey, Coach. You touched on this a little bit, but when you're getting ready to play a team like Wisconsin, where they've improved over the course of the season, there's a difference between film at the beginning of the year and film in recent weeks. How does that change your approach?
Yeah, well, I mean, you study everything, Patrick. I mean, you try to overturn every stone. Like last week, we've got a lot of history between our staffs going against each other. So you try to overturn every stone that you possibly can and preparing your guys, but not overloading them mentally. Because, again, you get into Big Ten West games in November. I mean, it's fundamentals. It's taking care of the football. It's all those things that really just go into the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. I don't think anybody's going to trick anyone at this point in the year, but that's a Paul Chryst football program. I mean, they're tough, they're physical, they play great complementary football. They've got an incredible home field advantage at Camp Randall, and then they've just, I think, gotten better each week. And they've got a very veteran team now. It's been quite a bit this year that I think our youth has shown, and not just by age but by experience, that you've watched this group of guys that they have get better and better each year. And again, this defense is number one in the country for a reason. They're veteran, they're tough, they're violent, they're well coordinated, they fit things right, they don't make mistakes. And Coach Leonard's got a great idea and a great blueprint on how he tries to defend you. And then he's got change-ups within the game. So, he's an outstanding football coach, and he's got absolutely phenomenal football players that play on that defense. Fun to watch as a fan.
Michael Fitzpatrick.
Hey, Coach. 2 years ago when the offense struggled, you knew the problem was quarterback. You said you would fix it, and you did with Peyton. Is the problem this year the offense? How much of the problem is quarterback, and how much of it is all the people around the quarterback?
Well, we got 3 more weeks to go in season. So before I make any, statements on what we need to do and where we need to go, I'm going to let the final 3 chapters and hopefully 1 more be written. So I'll hold off that answer until then, but we've just got to be more consistent. We had 26 self-inflicted wounds, penalties, drops, turnovers, communication issues, MAs that we can't do as an offense. And that starts with us as coaches. I mean, very critical of ourselves yesterday. We presented that to the guys today, and we still have the ball with 150 left against, one of the top defenses in the country, and we make a critical error at the end of the game. So, we've moved the ball at times, not consistently enough. We obviously haven't finished with enough points in the red zone, but collectively we look at it as a collective inconsistency. Us as coaches and the guys that are out there, we collectively own it. And we're working our butts off to fix it.
Drew Shot.
Hey, Coach, when you look at your 2018 and 2020 matchups against Wisconsin, it always seems there's a large game that definitely has an impact on the Big Ten West standings. Entering this 3-game stretch in which you need to likely win 3 to go to bowl eligibility. Do you feel like there's a sense of urgency, especially this week against the Badgers, but overall when the two teams come together? Do you feel like there's an overall sense of urgency each time you take the field against Coach Chris?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think again, like last week with the history that we all have, coaching wise, there's been new names and new faces, right? That are putting the uniforms on that. But I just think there's just a high level of respect. I think, our program, their program, Iowa's program, you can pretty much set your watch on the way that we try to do things. And occasionally there's bumps in the road, but, there's a high level of consistency within our programs. And I think there's a great sense of urgency every week, Drew. I mean, it's you get into conference play, man, and then, even non-conference play. When you're at this level, man, you put and pour everything you got in your heart and soul into each week, into each game. And, I try to be really consistent in the way that I approach each game. And that's hopefully the way our guys do it too, mentally and emotionally. But anytime you get into league play, it's in divisional play, it's always a big game.
When you speak about the history between your staff and Wisconsin's, can you speak a little bit more on specifically the history that you've had while you're at Northwestern alongside the Badgers staff when you refer?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, Paul's been there for I think as long, if you include assistant coach and then head coach, probably as long as I've been, right? So we've known each other for a long, long time. And when we do different, coaches meetings and things of that nature, our wives know each other. And so thanks for letting me talk about that, because I want to say happy birthday to my wife Stacy today. So today's her birthday. So thanks, Drew, for asking. So at any rate, I just think there's when you're in a league, as long as the head coaches have been together at their respective schools, a lot of our assistant coaches have been together. We see each other on the road. I mean, there's never going to be negative recruiting between Iowa and Northwestern, Iowa, Wisconsin, Northwestern. You're never going to have that nonsense between our recruiting battles. We win ours, we lose some, and you tip your hat and away you go. It's just because I think we've got such high levels of respect for each other.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Everybody have a great day. Happy birthday again to my beautiful wife, Stacy. Thanks a lot. Go Cats.
All right. First question for Patrick Andres.
Hey, Stefan, we're down to the final 3 games of the season. Basically, no margin of error. This team wants to reach a bowl game. What are you guys doing to sort of refocus yourselves and make a final push against a tough closing schedule?
I mean, the same goal is there every week, just to not repeat the same mistakes we made in previous weeks. And, this past game, as Coach said, we made a lot of internal errors. That's on us and not the things they did. So we just got to fix those mistakes and just keep moving forward and forget that happened, and just keep winning.
Drew Shot.
Hey, Stefan, coming back last week after missing the Minnesota injury, providing a spark to the offense. Number one, what was it like being back out there? And number two, what has it been like, the kind of transition from Kansas to Northwestern? And now that you've been with this team through 9 games, kind of what's the transition between the leagues look like and implementing yourself into this offense?
I mean, it felt great to be back. You know, it hurts when you're not there to help your team. And then, like, I'm a competitor. So when I'm seeing stuff on the field from the sideline and I'm hurt, you know, I'm thinking in my head, oh, I can make this play. I can do that. So, you know, it felt like really great to be back out there. That's something I've been doing my whole life. So it was just a blessing to be back out there. And as far as like the differences, I'll say they're a lot stronger in this conference as far as like physique and things of that nature. But you know, both Power Five, so like it's gonna be work regardless. You know, we're going against elite and good players, so just each week battling day in and day out.
Daniel Olinger.
Hey, Stefan. I just wanted to ask you about this Wisconsin defense. They've had a really good season. I don't know if you've gotten too much of a chance yet to look at them, but what do you think is that their secondary and their corners do really well to make the defense so good?
I think I heard you, but I say that they're one of the top defenses in the country. So we know we got to bring our A game. They're not going to shy away from anything. You know, no matter if they see me as a good player or not, they're going to bring their A game and not be scared of anything. So we just have to attack them. You know, don't play scared and just go up and make plays when the ball comes my way. Come down with it every single time. You know, outrun them. You know, out physical them every play. So it's just about playing our game and not playing to their game type of thing.
Andrew Seligman.
Yeah, hi, Stefan. Just wondering what you receivers this past weekend put up some pretty big numbers in the Big Ten. 3 went over 200 yards. I'm just wondering what you make of that, what it says about some of the quality of the athletes in the Big Ten. And also, does it kind of go against the whole perception of the Big Ten as being a physical conference, stodgy offenses, that type of thing?
You know, I for sure see the stats of the other receivers in our conference. You know, sometimes I get a little jealous. You know, I want to put up those same numbers, but I'm just like staying patient and waiting my turn. But you know, at the same time, this is a physical conference, but we have athletes on the perimeter. You know, DBs and receivers. You know, receivers in this conference are really good. You know, got Olave, you got a lot of people in this conference that can be a deep threat and make plays down the field. So, you know, it's hard to play defense in this conference because you got to worry about the run as well as the pass. You know, at any moment, as far as play action and just deep shots. So just being ready.
Thank you.
Austin Siegel.
Steph, you really got involved on the ground against Iowa. How important is that as a dimension to your game?
We got our horizontal run game going, you know, running sideline to sideline. So, you know, I had a chance to, you know, outwing them and just get around the corner and just show my speed. So it was a good thing that we were able to do that and that opened up the run inside a little bit, and then also our passing schemes down the field. So being able to run the ball in different dimensions, you know, going forward.
Drew Schott.
Hey, Stefan, as a graduate, how do you feel like, number one, you've been able to implement your experience to the younger guys and some guys similar to your age in the room? And number two, how do you feel like your explosive playmaking has helped throughout the season, has helped kind of boost Northwestern's offense in certain aspects?
I feel like as far as like technique aspect, as far as like my experience, I've seen a lot and been coached by a lot of great coaches. So, you know, if I'm seeing things that other players don't see when they're going, I make sure to talk to them. And even it goes both ways, even with younger guys, I take stuff from everyone, no matter if they're younger, older, you know what I'm saying, the same age. So just me coaching them up and just helping them with stuff people helped me with when I was their age type of thing. And I forgot your second question. What was your second question?
How do you feel like your explosive play throughout the season? I mean, what specifically stands out to you about your play, and how do you feel like it's helped boost Northwestern's offense throughout 9 games so far?
I feel like I made a lot of explosive plays down the field, so it gives us a chance to open up our offense, you know, and then get others the ball as well, you know. And sometimes even I could be a decoy in some situations to get a lot of our playmakers the ball out in space. So it's not only me getting the ball, it's us opening the offense for players like Evan, Malik, and things of that nature.
Awesome. Thanks, Stefan.
I appreciate you guys.
We'll have Chris Bergen up next. All right, we'll go right into questions for linebacker Chris Bergen.
First question, Drew Schott.
Hey, Chris, after the Minnesota game, you talked about how everybody in this building needs to be locked in on getting 3 more to achieve bowl eligibility. Heading into this weekend at Wisconsin, can you speak about the urgency within the locker room, within the coaching staff, and what you've seen so far?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. The word is urgency, and that's of the utmost importance right now, and that is understood by everyone in this program, from athletic training to strength staff to coaches to players, young guys, old guys, and we're ready for the opportunity.
Patrick Andres.
Hey, Chris, on the heels of senior day this weekend, and I guess sort of going off of Drew's question, what do you need to do sort of as a leader to kind of solidify your legacy in these final 3 games and help the young guys find some success in a tough sort of closing stage?
I've said this a few times throughout the season, but I think the most important thing I can do is just show these guys what they already have. And these young guys are extremely talented, extremely gifted, extremely smart, high IQ football players. And there's a reason they're in the positions that they've been put in by the coaches. And it's just kind of on me to kind of continue to relay to them how good they are, just to continue to get them to grow in confidence and to trust themselves, which is the motto of our program. And they're doing a great job each and every week, gaining experience and getting better. And we just got to continue that trend.
Austin Siegel.
Chris, you have 3 more games guaranteed in your college career. I was curious, what would kind of your message be to freshman Chris Bergen, knowing what you know now?
It's weird. I've been asked a few times, like, what do you wish you had known back then that would help you now? And honestly, there's nothing. I think that everything that has happened to me, good and bad, has just been experiences led me to here. And I wouldn't have done it any different in hindsight, which is a feeling that helps me sleep a lot at night. But I would have told him enjoy every moment, and I think I have. And I think one of the greatest blessings I've had is being able to, fully ingratiate the fact that I'm living my dream in real time. And I've been able to do that from the second I stepped into this program in 2017, and been like that up until this point we sit right now. So I'm just so grateful that I've had this experience, and just been living by the Dr. Seuss quote: "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened."
Just kind of sticking with that theme, I mean, how fired up do you get to play these Big Ten football games every single week?
Like I said, it's my dream. So I take every opportunity the same, and just treat it as an opportunity to get better, to go 1-0, and just to play team football with my guys. And it's very special. And anyone that's got to experience it just knows what this game means to me, to my family, and to this program. So it's everything.
One more for Austin.
Chris, I know you've talked about this a few times this season, but you're still leading the Big Ten, maybe the country in tackles. And I was just curious if you're aware of that, do you keep track of that, and kind of what that means to you at this point in your career?
It's not something that I've really paid attention to. Obviously, my only stat that counts is how many victories we have in the win column. But, when it pertains to that and pertains to tackles, I guess we'll just go by the old Kobe quote: "Job's not finished." So we'll talk about it in 3 weeks.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, everyone.